Good morning to all. Once again, welcome back to Maths Online class. See, in last class, we were discussed the chapter permutations and combinations. Once again, remind you, permutation means arrangements. It needs some order. At the same time, combination means selection. The order doesn't matter. Okay. So, anyway, I hope it's clear to you both the terms permutation as well as combination. So go through the exercise questions and identify the question, which question carries permutation as well as combination. Okay. Today's video, we are going to take a new chapter, namely sequences and series. See, in class 10, you learn arithmetic progression. Okay, so it's the same topic, arithmetic progression, plus one more progression we need to study, namely geometry progression. Okay. So let's watch the video carefully and attend the test paper. Let's go. Let's see some review questions. Belongs to exercise 7.3. Okay. See, this is question number 11. Question number 11 says, in how many ways can the letters of the word permutations be arranged if, listen, three sub questions we have to discuss. First one, words start with P and end with S. Second one, vowels all together. Third one, there are always four letters between P and S. Okay. So listen, we have the word permutations, isn't it? First we have to check any letter is repeating or not. So here Permutations. Here T repeats, isn't it? T appears two times. T appears two times. Then any other letter? No. So we can treat this T as T1 and T2. So listen, P, E, R, M, U, T1, A, T2, I, O, N, S. Now count how many letters are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 letters. 12 letters. And out of these 12, T appears twice. Okay. T appears twice. Now, first one, word starts with P and S. So, in this 12 letter arrangements, see we have the first letter. What is the first letter? P. And the last letter is S. So, the first letter and last letter we fix. So, in between P and S, you can see there are how many letters? 10 letters, because we have total 12 letters. So, in this 12 letter, we fix 2 letters. So, we have to arrange the remaining 10 letters. So, these 10 letters can be arranged in 10 factorial by. Okay, in this 10 factorial, T appears twice. So, 10 factorial by 2 factorial. This is question number 1. So, okay. Second one, vowels all together. So, in these letters, count how many vowels are there. E is a vowel, U is a vowel, A is a vowel, I, O. And all other letters are consonants. So, if we are arranging, the second sub question is vowels. In all the arrangement, vowels all together. Just like P, R, M, T1, T2, N, S. These are consonants. Then vowels are E, U, A, I, O. These are vowels. So, if we are arranging, we can see that all vowels are occur together. We need such type of arrangements. Okay. So, listen, treat these vowels whole together as a single letter. These whole together is a single letter. Then count how many letters are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 letters plus whole together 1 letter. So 7 plus 1 is 8 letter. So suppose it is X. So these 8 letter can be arranged in, listen, 8 factorial by. In this 8 letter, T appears twice. So 2 factorial. Okay. So these are 8 letters and 8 letters can be arranged in 8 factorial by 2 factorial. It's not complete. Now these vowels is also can be arranged in different ways because one of the arrangement is E, U, I, A, I, O. Another arrangement is E, U, I, A, O. Another arrangement U, E, I, A, O. So these 5 vowels can be arranged in different ways, isn't it? And look, these 5 vowels are different letters and these 5 different letters can be arranged in 5 factorial ways. So the total number of arrangement is equal to 8 factorial by 2 factorial into 5 factorial. Okay. Now third one, there are always 4 letters between P and S. Okay, there are always 4 letters between P and S. So, we fixed P and S and we need 4 letters only in between P and S. So, other than P and S, there are 10 letters, isn't it? 10 letters. So, we need to arrange 4 letters using these 10 letters is 10P4. Is clear? 10P4. Now what is 10P4? 10 factorial by 10 minus 4 factorial. That is 10 factorial by 6 factorial. And in this 10 letters, T appears twice. So 10 factorial by 6 factorial into 2 factorial gives the answer. Okay. So question, we have a word daughter and we need to find the number of permutations when all vowels occur together and all vowels not occur together. Okay. See, in this word daughter, you can see that all the letters are different. So there are 8 different letters, isn't it? 8 different letters. So in this 8 different letter, A, U, E is vowel. A, U, E. These 3 are vowels. Remaining are consonants. D, G, H, T, R. Okay, D, G, H, T, R. So treat these vowels whole together as a single letter. Now count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1. So total we have 6 letters, 6 different letters. So these 6 different letters can be arranged in 6 factorial ways. Okay, 6 factorial ways. And these 3 vowels are different 3 letters. And these 3 different letters can be arranged in 3 factorial ways. So total number of permutations when all vowels occur together is 6 factorial into 3 factorial. Is clear? Okay. Collect all vowels together and consider these vowels together as a single letter. Then count total number of letters. So we can see that there are 6 letters and these 6 letters can be arranged in 6 factorial ways because all the letters are different. Now A, U, E is also arranged in different manner, just like A, U, E, A, E, U, E, A, U and so on. So these 3 different letters can be arranged in 3 factorial ways. Therefore, total number of arrangement is equal to 3 factorial into 6 factorial. Now second question is all vowels not occur together. So these arrangements are number of arrangements when all vowels occur together. So therefore not occur together means total number of arrangements minus vowels occur together. Okay. Now total number of arrangements means, see, we have 8 letters. Using these 8 letter arrangements or 8 letters, we can arrange 8 factorial ways. So the number of permutations when all vowels not occur together is total minus number of permutations when all vowels occur together. Okay. So this is about permutations and exercise regarding about combination we discussed yesterday. Go through the textbook and read all the examples plus do all the exercise questions. Okay. Now listen chapter number 9, sequences and series. Okay. Sequences and series. Actually, chapter number 8, binomial theorem, that is related from our portion. So, we are going to take chapter number 9, sequences and series. See, it's a continuation of arithmetic progression you already learned in class 10. Okay. Before that, what do you mean by sequence and series? Suppose we have some numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. These are natural numbers and we separate these numbers by commas. Okay, then this is a sequence of numbers. Suppose we separate these numbers using a operation. For example, plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus etc. Now this becomes a series. So this is the difference between sequence as well as series. Now we have to see some types of sequence, mainly arithmetic progression as well as geometric progression. See here, arithmetic progression you already know. Arithmetic progression or simply AP. That is, suppose we have a sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. In this sequence, we can see that successive terms are obtained by just adding 1 to its previous term, isn't it? 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1 equal to 5, etc. Another sequence 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, etc. See here, first number is 10. Now adding 2. 10 plus 2, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. 14 plus 2, 16 and so on. So these type of progressions are known as arithmetic progression. That is, these numbers or terms. So each and every terms are obtained by adding a fixed quantity or fixed number to the preceding means just before preceding terms is known as arithmetic progression, and we are adding a fixed number to the preceding term to get successive terms, and this fixed number is known as common difference. Okay, just recall all these things. Common difference, and common difference is obtained by, suppose we have second term. If we subtract second term and its previous term, what is its previous term? First term. We get the common difference, and common difference is denoted by the letter D. If we are taking third term, then common difference is obtained by third term minus second term. If you are taking fifth term, then fifth term minus fourth term gives common difference. Okay. So if we are taking any term, then subtract its previous term implies common difference. Okay. Now see, these are called terms. It is first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term and so on. And terms are denoted by the letter A. So first term is A or A1. Second term is A2. Third term A3. Fourth term A4, etc. If we are extending these terms, we get the nth term or last term as AN. So AN represents last term or nth term. Okay. Now see, first term is A. Now second term A2 is obtained by adding common difference with first term. See here, what is common difference? Common difference is 2 because 12 minus 10, 14 minus 12, 16 minus 14. So common difference is 2, or the second term is obtained by adding 2 with first term, isn't it? Third term is obtained as adding 2 with the second term. Okay, so third term is obtained by second term plus common difference. Fourth term is obtained as adding common difference with the third term and so on. So using this concept we can generalize how to find its nth term. Okay. Listen. Second term is obtained as a plus d, first term plus common difference. Third term is second term plus common difference. Fourth term is third term plus common difference, etc. Here the second term can be written as from here a plus d, then plus d, that is a plus 2d. Now a3 means third term. Third term can be written as a plus 2d plus d, that is a plus 3d. Similarly, fifth term can be written as a plus 4d. Sixth term can be written as a plus 5d. Okay. 10th term can be written as a plus 9d, or nth term. Nth term means an is obtained as a plus n minus 1 into d. So this is our formula to obtain nth term or last term of an AP. Okay, an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Now, see, for this arithmetic progression, we can see its sum to n terms. This formula is also you studied. There are two formulae to find sum to n terms. Sum to n terms is represented by Sn, and one formula is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. It is one of the formula. Or n by 2 into a plus an. A means first term, an means last term. If first term and last term is given, then we can use n by 2 into a plus an to obtain sum. Otherwise, use this result, n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So, these are the basic things about arithmetic progression, and all these we discussed in earlier classes, I mean class 10. So, just explaining all these things once again, and we will see some problems based on these concepts in the first exercise and second exercise. Okay. So, let's move to our exercise question. To find nth term or number of terms or common difference or first term or sum to n terms of n given AP. Okay. Exercise 9.1. See question number 1. We have an. An is given. An means nth term. N into n plus 2 is given. Our question is find the first 5 terms. Okay. Find the first 5 terms. So what are the first 5 terms? First term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. Okay. A or A1. First term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. These terms we need to find. For this an is given. First we need to find a1. So it's a simple one. Put n equal to 1 in this expression. So 1 into 1 plus 2. This 1 into 3 is 3. So 3 is first term. Now find second term a2. So put n equal to 2 here. 2 into 2 plus 2. That is 2 into 2 plus 2, 4. 2 into 4, 8. A3, third term, put n equal to 3. So 3 into 3 plus 2. 3 into 5. 3 into 5, 15. Okay. Now A4. 4, put n equal to 4. 4 into 4 plus 2. That is 4 into 6. 4 into 6, 24. Now A5, put n equal to 5. 5 into 4, 5 into 5 plus 2. That is 5 into 7, 35. Okay. So simply put n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these questions are to find the first 5 terms. So simply put n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, n equal to 4, n equal to 5. Okay. Now next question is another question, question number 7. An is given 4n minus 3 and we need to find what is A17 and A24. A17 means 17th term we need to find. A24 means 24th term. Okay. So A17. Here also put, listen, just compare these two. So what is n? N equal to 17. So put n equal to 17 here. So this is 4 into 17 minus 3. 4 into 17, it is 68, isn't it? Yes. Minus 3. 68 minus 3 is 65. Now 24th term. 24th term means A24. So put n equal to 24 here. So 4 into 24 minus 3. 4 into 24 is 96. 96 minus 3. 96 minus 3 is 93. Okay. Similarly do the other 3 problems. 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now question number 11. In question number 11, A1 is given. A1 means first term is 3. An is equal to 3 into an minus 1 plus 2. So question is, what is the corresponding series? Okay, corresponding series means first term plus second term plus third term plus fourth term plus etc. This is series. So we need to find at least 3 terms and write in this form. So first term is given. Now we need to find second term A2. Okay. So in this expression put n equal to 2. So this becomes 3 into, listen, A 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1 plus 2. Now what is A1? A1 is 3. So this is equal to 3 into 3, 9. 9 plus 2, 11. Okay. Now find A3. So put 3 here in place of n. So 3 into A3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is A2 plus 2. Now what is A2? A2 is 11. So 3 into 11, 33. 33 plus 2, 35. Okay, this is a simple one. Now write the series. What is the series? A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus etc. So this is our required series. Okay, so do the remaining 3 problems. So that is exercise 9.1. Okay, I'm not giving the notes. You can simply write down all the answers of exercise 9.1. Okay.